Welcome back to Belinda's Country Living. Good morning, afternoon, and evening to all my YouTube family and friends. Today, I'm going to show you how I make my pie crust. I'm doing a blueberry pie, and this recipe that I'm doing is enough to make 2-3 pies. If you are making a pie with the double crust, you'll get 2 pies. But I'm only making 1 blueberry pie today. But first, I'm going to show you how I make my pie crust. And what you're going to need is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. There's 2 cups. And there's the 3rd cup. You're going to need a dash of salt. I did not measure that. Roughly maybe a teaspoon of salt. And you are going to stir that around. Now I use a fork when I do the pie crust. And I know there's a lot of this young generation that does not like or do not know how to do a pie crust. And there is pie crust you can buy. I believe Pillsbury is one of them that comes in a 2 crust, already comes in a row, and you just roll them out and slap them on your pie. And it is good. I have used them. But today, I'm doing a homemade. So you want to stir that salt and the flour together. Now that is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Now you're going to use a cup. I use Crisco shortening, vegetable shortening. I do always keep this in my refrigerator. And you're going to just take that, the shortening, and you're not going to just dump it all in. Just going to take little pieces and just spread them around. It just doesn't want to come off. That way it'll get distributed pretty good into the flour. This is what I call a no stress. You're not going to stress out because this is going to come out great. No stress, no worries. Now I'm using my fork, and I'm going to use the edge of the fork to start out and mix all of that shortening in the flour. I'll do this until I get it in pieces, smaller pieces. Then I'll mash it down with my fork. Now you can use a pasty blender. I do have one of those, but I like the fork. Don't use something if you don't have to. Fork plus these forks. Now we're just going to press down with the fork. And I'll show you when I get all of this distributed. They do say the size of a pea, you know, your peas, about the size of that. But you can't always go by that. Some of the shortening will be big pieces. Some will be little. And this will probably take about 5 minutes to do this. Well, here in Indiana, it has been raining most of the day. It's been cloudy. I was a little stressed out earlier My grandson went in and got his learner's permit yesterday, passed the test. That was Friday, I'm sorry. And so now here in Indiana, the rules are you get your learner's permit, then you have to have 50 driving hours. And half of them have to be nighttime. So he is in driver's education, but they only give you 6 hours of driving. So I took him out today at the high school parking lot. I'm still stirring this around, as you can see. It still needs a little bit more stirring to get that vegetable oil there mixed in there. So I took him to the high school parking lot and let him drive around the perimeter of the parking lot, and they had some cones, orange cones out there, and he drove through them. So we did about an hour of that today. Then I took him out on a country road, the back roads, to home. That was the scary part because the road was Indian Creek Road, and it was a creek, they big old ditches down through there, and I'm going, oh, Lordy me, Lord, please let me have the patience. But he did really good. So I was proud of him. So that's what I've been doing. I'm the grandma. They call me Mama. And I'm also the parent. Also a teacher of everything. Okay, so that looks good. You don't want to overlook it. You can see it resembles a coarse meal, pea size. There's some big, thick pieces in there. So now what we're going to do, I got a half a cup of water. And I did put a few pieces of ice cubes. It's cold, so half a cup of water. I'm going to pour biggest part of that in there. Look at that. This is no fuss. Now you just want to mix this around. And if there's anything dry on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of that in there. Don't overwork this. And you'll know, we'll break that off. You'll know if you need more because you don't want any dryness. So I'm going to need some more water. And I'm just going to use the tap water. Make sure it's cold. Just a little bit more. Now it will hold together. I'm getting a lot of still dryness underneath there. Here we go. It's getting there. A lot of them up. Do a couple teaspoons at a time. I just use it all. I watch my mom do this a lot. Now just pat that down in the bowl. Just like that. And it is workable. This is a very good flaky pie crust. As you can see, I have flattened it down. Now I'm just going to divide it. Now this, here you go. Set that aside. Roll it up. And it's not sticking to my hand, so that means it's good. Now I've got to get some flour. And I'm going to sprinkle my mat out. This is a Tupperware mat. And this is to keep this from sticking. Also like to get my rolling pin and flour it real good. Now, mash that down. Let's flip it over. Like I said, this is a no stress, no sense of stressing. There you go. Now we're going to roll this out. And you need to roll this thin. And I start in the middle and push out. And then move your dough around. And you don't want to kill it. Just roll lightly. Let's flip it around again. Just like that. I mean, if you go buy this already made, I think the last time I bought some of them, Pillsbury, 2 of them, well, the price of everything has really went up. I think you might pay about $4 for 2 of them. So if you've already got the flour and lard, some use lard, vegetable oil. I'm going to make sure I need to turn this again. And if it tears, you don't have to worry about it. You just stick it back. Need some more flour on there. Just like that. If it tears on you, it's alright. Just mash it back down. Because you want this to be thin. My pie pan here is a deep dish. And it's a 9-inch. So you want this thin. I got a little hole right there, but not a problem. I'm going to take a little piece right here and stick right on there. And I think that's going to be good enough. Look at that. Okay. Now we're going to put it in the pie thing there. Yeah, it might have stuck just a little bit, but that's all right. Move that over. Look at that. Didn't quite get it centered. It's kind of tearing on me. But work it with your hands. And you want to press down on all of it up against the edge of the pie pan. Just like that. Now I usually don't use a deep dish. It's a lot harder to get that. Fell over on me. I didn't get it centered. But no pie. Homemade pie shells are perfect. And I'm just mashing this in here. Got it all down. Just like that. That fell off, so we'll just press that back in there. So all you gotta do, it's like a puzzle, just put it back together. And I can use a little piece here, tear that off, and I can press it over here. Just like that. And another piece I can use, but I helped if I'd have got that centered. Right over here. Just like that. And there's your pie. And I still have 2 over there left. That's going to be for my top. For the blueberry. So. I got that done. As you can see. And I'll be back here in a few minutes and I'll get all the ingredients out I need for my blueberry. Okay, I am back and I got everything set out for my blueberry mixture. So, and what I'm using today is I'm using frozen wild blueberries. Now, this is what I received on that once a month senior day when they give food away to the seniors. Like I said, they take care of their seniors. So I got a bag of frozen wild blueberries. And there is 3 pounds. Now, the difference between the wild blueberries is the blueberries are very small. So, and I've made blueberry pie before, but I've used either the fresh or the regular frozen, but they were bigger. So, but I'm using what I have. So I'm going to use the whole 3 pound bag. And there may be enough for me to do 2 blueberries. And I just took them out of the freezer, so you want to leave them frozen. And to the berries, I'm going to add, because there's 3 pounds of berries here, I'm going to add about 2 cups of flour. You want to mix that around. Now, if you're just going to make one pie, I'd half this amount. But because it was 3 pounds, I'm going to get 2 pies out of this. And mix this up real well. And what the flour does, it helps thicken the berries, the juices that's going to come out of these berries. Mix that up real well. Now, I don't have a lemon, so I'm going to use lemon juice. I always have lemon juice. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. 1, 2. And that was a teaspoon. So we're going to go 3 teaspoons of lemon juice. And I use the Great Value. And to that, you are going to add 1 cup of sugar. Oh, I had that out. 1 cup of sugar. That you don't want to make it too sweet because blueberries are usually sweet. So there's 1 cup of sugar. And stir it up again. And you'll know you want to dip and lift because you don't want to mash the berries. And I have done this, pre-cooked them on top of the stove and then poured into the pie shell. Oh yeah. This looks good already. Now, to this, I'm going to add a cup of water. And I'm going to just add this because there's 3 pounds here. Yeah. It's a lot of berries. Lot of berries. I think I'm going to have some more water. Yes, I'm going to have more water. Give it another cup of water. Now I already got the pie shells done. I ended up with 4 pie shells. Now look at that. I'm still mixing. Like I said, that's a lot of berries. Yeah. Looking good. And remember, you're still going to get a lot of juices out of the blueberries. Yeah. And I'm going to add some cinnamon. We'll sprinkle some cinnamon. Maybe I need to open it. That's a new jar. Thought I had that one opened. Yeah. Got it open. There we go. But I'm going to sprinkle a little cinnamon on it. On top. I'm going to stir it again. This pie is an easy peasy pie. I'm due to make a blackberry cobbler or blackberry pie, but I prefer cobbler. And I like my cobbler with a top and a bottom crust. And sprinkle a little bit more cinnamon. Yeah. It's gonna be good. If you like blueberry. Somebody's trying to call in on my phone. Never fails every time you do a video or something. Okay, so I've got that mixed up real well. Now, I'm going to get a dipper. And I'm going to put it in the pie shell. Here. And just pile it in there. And I'm going to make this pretty high in the middle. No, it's all blueberries. Of course, these are frozen, so I don't know. I've never used the frozen. I want to thank all of you for watching and viewing my videos. I want to thank all of you that are subscribing to my channel and giving me the thumbs up. This helps the channel grow. Without you, this channel would not grow. So now we have that. I think one more. I think I might have enough to do another one. There we go. Is that around there? Oh yeah. Set this aside. And now, there's two right there. Put that in there. Now we just have to put the pie crust on top. And I've already made little slits in my pie crust. Let's move this over here. Look at that. Slit right there on top. I always have trouble getting them really centered. But you can see I've already got the top already put little slices. That is to, when your blueberries start to bubble, the little slits, or you can use any kind of decoration cutouts on top. This is just simple. This keeps your top of your dough from rising, making a big bubble. So now I'm going to tuck the pie shell in, just tuck it under. Hope you can see that. There you go. Just tuck it under the other. Want to seal the edges. Just like that. Gotta go in and pick up the grandson from work. Boy, these kids, they keep you hopping. See how I'm doing that? There you go. Tuck it under. Seal it good. I've just always fixed my pies in glass pie pans. Now I got that all tucked under, sealed. Now I'm going to go and flute my crust. And this is how I do it. I just take my finger, mash, and push in with the other one. Mash, push in. Mash, push in. Push in, push in. Simple. Anybody can do this. You can use a fork. Doesn't that look pretty? Don't forget, y'all, to those who haven't subscribed, sure would appreciate it. You would subscribe to my channel. Give me the thumbs up. There we go. And she is ready to go in the oven. I'm going to put an egg wash. I got one white egg and just a tab of milk. And I'm going to whip that up. That's the egg white. You only want the egg white. And I brushed the edge, the top of the pie. This helps it seal and helps it give it a real nice, pretty, glossy color. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of sugar. Not a whole lot. Look at that. And sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon. Not a whole lot. Now, that is ready, folks. Isn't that beautiful? Going in the oven at 425 degrees. I've already had my oven preheated. Going to 425 for around 30 minutes. And then I'm going to reduce the heat to around 350. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'd say in 30 minutes, I'm going to put a pie shield around the edge. I'll just use aluminum foil that will protect the edge of the pie crust from turning dark brown or maybe even burning. So when this gets done, I'll bring you back and I'll show you the results of the pie. Okay, the pie is done. It's been out of the oven for around 30 minutes. So we are going to cut the pie and give it a test. Still, it's okay, but as you can see, turned out beautiful. So, let's give it a cut. And crust appears to be very flaky. It's still a little warm, so, but I want to cut it. I want y'all to see what this looks like on a dish. It's all staying together fairly good. It's still warm. Ooh, look at that. And as you can see, the bottom of the crust Looks wonderful. Get a little closer. That piece should have been over on the other side. But I want you to look. I mean, it all stayed together. It's very firm. And the crust is very flaky. So there you have it. Let me get me a fork. And we'll taste this. Should have my grandson out here doing this. He loves blueberry. It's warm, it's still hot. I even had thought about making a cobbler instead of a pie. Well, I'll go ahead and do the pie. Here we go. It's hot. That crust is really good. That's the best part of a pie to me, is the crust. Now, I thought myself, this pie could have used a little bit more sugar. I mean, it's sweet, but to me it's not sweet enough. But then again, I had 3 pounds of sugar. 3 pounds of blueberries. And 1 cup of sugar. So I should have put more sugar in it. But it's really good. But like I said, I like more sweetness. So until the next time, write in your comments. Tell me what you think. What would you have done different? And there's something you would like for me to try out, let me know. Leave it in the comment. And I'll do my best to get her done. Until the next time, you all have a wonderful and a blessed day.